Ball first and 10 at the 12-yard line of the Seahawks. Sean goes right, has a cutback lane, and he does. He's across the 20, the 25, 30, 35, 40. Here he goes. Are they going to catch him? 40, 35, 30. Touchdown, Seahawks! 12, they're bringing the trophy home. Your Seahawks, Super Bowl 48 champions. Holy catfish! Baldwin's going to throw back to Russell. He's got it! Touchdown! Seahawks! Are you kidding me?
Let's Hawk It Out with your hosts Kevin Porter and Rich Harris.
Sound the alarm. Chicago Bears beat the Seattle Seahawks. Oh my gosh, Rich Harris, welcome to the podcast. I don't know, man. Our people are jumping off the ship, dude. It's been a crazy couple of days since the last time we were on this show, dude. I mean, the Seahawks are falling apart.
You kind of sound like the chatter and like everybody else, and that's exactly what you're imitating, I'm sure. Yeah, man, it's preseason. And any of those people that are naysaying this early on, come on. You know, get with the program and relax.
It's the first two games. We had one bad game. Calm down, ladies and gentlemen.
Pay attention. This is practice games. This is backups that are fighting to get positions on the team. I don't know if anybody else knows this fact, but I don't know if they were all starter caliber. I think they probably were, but there was 20 guys that are probably 20 of our 53-man roster that are pretty much 20 people that we know are going to be on the team. They sat, you know. I guess I didn't realize that I was there at the game, but I didn't realize DK and Tyler played the first series. But you know,
really? I thought they didn't even play the game.
I heard that they were out there or something. I didn't see them out there, but I heard that they were out there, and then DK gave coach some shit and said, I should have been out there longer or something, which sounds like something DK would do. But I don't know how much truth there was to that, and I didn't see myself, and even my wife was like, I didn't see DK or Tyler out there. But yeah, otherwise it's preseason. A lot of the rookies and a lot of these other guys that are on the bubble, so to speak, of getting cut, they're playing, and this is their moment. Well, there's only 3 preseason games, so I know I'm sounding sarcastic or whatever, but I mean, this is just something I want to remind people is, hey, let's just relax, let them iron out those bugs, and it's like beta testing. Anybody that goes and plays video games, or whatever, right? You got to iron out those bugs. You got to go test a little bit and test the waters and flush some things out before you know what to improve on.
Exactly, dude. And to be completely transparent with our audience, I didn't watch this game because I was really busy Thursday night. So I DVR every single Seattle Seahawks game. And so like I didn't eat dinner that night until like 9:00, and I put the game on and I watched that first drive for the Chicago Bears. And so like right when the Seahawks were about ready to get the ball, I actually I paused it and I went and recorded a video for my YouTube page. And I came back and I was just really tired, dude. I was like, you know what? I'll just check it out in the morning. And then I went to work, and one of our buddies at work was he's just like, it said it was a stinker. And I was like, it made me disappointed. I was like, all right, I guess I'm just going to skip this one then. And I just saw the highlights, and damn, dude, not very impressive, I got to say. But like you said, though, most of our starters weren't even playing. So it is what it is.
Yep. And I mean, even the starters or the starters that should be some of the starters were out there. And there was a lot of, I'm not making excuses just with the rookies and everything and the bubble I'm speaking of, because there was plenty of mistakes and stuff as well across the board. So at the end of the day, again, flushing out a lot of things that need to be worked on. That's what Coach pretty much said in the press conference as well. But he was disappointed as well because, I mean, I don't know. We'll get to some of these major problems. I think the major one that everybody probably knows, I'll just get it right off the bat, is the missed tackles. Yeah, I mean, there was missed tackles galore. And I was just, even there was just some striking opportunities when a guy was breaking down the running back and the defensive back or the linebacker just didn't break down enough in front of him. I know that term, I played football enough to know you just got to break down in front of him and get your whole body in front of him. And I seen by the time the offensive guy, the running back, just little juke, and then this person's trying to do an arm tackle. And a couple of times they did get some shoestring or arm tackles, but otherwise it was just loosey-goosey on the tackling, for lack of better words.
No, those are good words, dude. I like loosey-goosey. That's a good phrase.
I mean, but
Yeah.
it was just, it went on and on and on. So, and then there was a lot of flags and penalties, but, I guess it started out in the first half there. I was wondering, I asked my wife, I said, can you look up to see what the starter, the number, whatever number, because number 1 was starting for Chicago, and I guess it was Justin Fields, and that is their main starter, isn't it nowadays?
He is their starter. I mean, he was the starter last season. I think this is his second year in the league.
Okay.
But I mean, he was only in it for one series. He went 5 for 7, 39 yards, 5.6 average. I mean, I don't know. A lot of people are like, it's kind of up and down with this guy, at least from what I've heard on the national talk.
Yeah, I didn't see anything jump out other than it looked like Chicago was moving the ball on us. We did kind of stop them at one point, and I think they went for it on 4th down. It was like 4th and 2 or something. And Darryl Taylor, as anxious as he is, I call him our new Frank Clark. Darryl was just like so anxious to get off the line that he jumped. And so they got another series. And I think that's when he continued that little drive that they had there. Well, that drive ended up in a field goal. But they kind of ran it down the field, with 2 series. Again, one of them was given by us, if I remember correctly. And then they ended up with a field goal. So they were the first on the board with 3 points. And then, of course, we get the ball. Our first play of the game, another mistake by us, which is not rookie based or anything else. It's team based, a false start, first play of the offense. Oh, wow. But then we came out with Travis Homer, man. He came out with a nice little run. And then the next play, he did a little screen pass with a nice little run. How often are we talking about Travis Homer? What's this, our 3rd official one or 2nd official preseason game now? And Travis Homer was mentioned a lot in our last little podcast and had good stats. So he was looking really good. And then in that same drive, that first drive there, I seen Gino just throw a bullet to Freddie Swain, and it just went right through his hands. And I couldn't tell. I haven't didn't look at the replay close enough to tell if it was Freddie's fault or Gino just had too much mustard on it. I couldn't really tell, but it was a bullet, and Gino was throwing some zip and at times, and the receivers just couldn't handle it.
He went 10 for 18 for 112 yards. He averaged about 6.2 yards every throw, which isn't like, I don't know, that's not doing a lot. Like, what is that? A lot of like screen passes. That kind of like, again, I didn't watch the game, but that's what I kind of see in my head when I only see 6.2 averaging your yardage for being the Seattle quarterback.
There was some short ones that weren't much gain, and then there was some larger gains that were really noticeable and really exciting, got the fans kind of excited. I don't have the yardages on those necessarily, but I know that one of them was DJ Dallas. There was some broken coverage from the Bears at one point, and these 2 linebackers were just stuck in the same spot almost.
He got 29 yards on that one, DJ.
Yeah. And it's almost like it's almost like the linebackers, and I did see that replay where these 2 guys were at the same spot, and it's almost like they both weren't assigned to be there. So somebody blew it. DJ was open on a screen. Nice catch, and he just took off. And that was definitely a nice one. So that was part of that. And then there was another one with
Penny Hart.
There you go. Yeah. And
41 yards, man.
Yeah, dude, that was a really nice one. Being at the stadium and stuff, seeing that, it was one of those just picture perfect, nice looking plays where Penny gets open down the line, Gino lofts it up. It wasn't as rainbow of as what we used to see, but it was a nice little rainbow, and it just dropped right into his hands, and it was nice. That one was really good. And then later in that drive, one of these guys that we met, me and my wife, in a parade locally that we went to, was that rookie Derek Young, the wide receiver. So we're really rooting for him. He's got a place in our heart, so to speak, because we sat out there and talked to him a little bit in that parade. And man, he had a drop pass right there thrown to him that he could have scored a touchdown. Yeah.
He says that was his only attempt, like, throughout the whole game. That was his one target.
Yeah, and he's got to shine. These are the moments, and he had a chance to catch that ball, in my opinion. And then we ended that particular drive. Myers missed the field goal, and
he missed.
Yeah,
we talked about that last week, dude. We thought.
Well, when he hit it and then it bounced in last week, but this time we just seen both of them. They were just going no way. They were just crossing their arms back and forth. Yeah.
That's
so. other than that, Gino was off target a lot, it seemed. I mean, he was zipping the ball, and I don't know if he was leading the receivers too much, or if their timing the cadence just wasn't there as far as the wide receivers and him being on timing with them. And that could be very well be. I mean, obviously these are maybe the third stringers and stuff that Gino doesn't necessarily throw to all the time in practice. So that would make sense. Otherwise we were struggling. This is in the first half, I think, or overall, we were struggling in general. And in the fourth quarter, at some point, I'll point out a stat. We were 1 for 10 on third down conversions. We were
that's so bad. That's so
sitting
bad.
at 12 penalties overall at that time. And I think that was the beginning of the fourth quarter. So come on.
Well, I'm showing that we had 3 fumbles in the game. Is that correct? 1 loss, and we only lost 1, it looks like.
Yeah, and we had some opportunities to get some. We did. We had some fumbles, and we had some opportunities to recover some fumbles right off the bat on the first kickoff. The guy fumbled the ball.
I remember. I did see that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there was another one where we were watching the guy right there at the 1 or 2 yard line to catch it. I think it was Josh Johnson or something. I don't know his name. Last name's Johnson. Yeah. And all of us in the stands right there were talking amongst each other going, man, this is one of those guys. You probably just blew it right there, because it was a kickoff return and he blew it, muffed it, and then they got the ball and got into the end zone right there, and it was a touchdown. It was one of those ones that you just don't really want to see.
Right.
So
I'm looking at another interesting stat, which we should compare it to last week, but obviously I don't have the stats from last week in front of me. But like Seattle interceptions, no Seattle interceptions, but also Chicago got no interceptions also. So that's a good thing. But man, where's our defense, dude? Why are we not getting any sort of interceptions right now?
Yeah, I don't know. And again, I think that might be just the starting part, or maybe there's just a lot of scheme stuff they got to work on. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. There was not a lot of times when they were there deflecting passes. There was more passes being completed by the other team, and then the chase is being on. So
that's unfortunate.
But yeah, as far as that second half is concerned, and then of course we didn't have Drew Lock. For those that didn't know, Drew would have started this. From what I understand, he would have started just for that rotation to be even, not necessarily because he was winning at that time, but he was going to start on Thursday, and then COVID came into play. He got COVID, so he's out. But it's my understanding he's supposed to be back in time to play this Friday, and I would imagine they're going to give him the first go, because Gino's had his first go with the ones plenty of time. They know what Gino looks like. Everybody knows what Gino looks like.
Average as fuck. That's what he looks
mediocre.
like.
I was just going to say mediocre.
Yeah.
We use the term hold down the fort, and that's still what he looks like. It's not, I don't want to say lackluster, but there's no really hype when he's coming off the sidelines. There's none of this, I don't know. There's celebration and stuff. He just doesn't seem to be high energy or anything like that. So that's just maybe who he is, and I'll accept that. But Jacob Eason, when he went out in the second half, he had a fair share of mistakes and stuff as well. He's a third stringer, so he doesn't get as many reps. But man, talk about darts and talk about lasers, man. That guy put some zip on the ball.
Well, he went 17 for 35, dude, with 141 yards, dude, and he only got sacked 1 time, which lost 9 yards, but. Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, he had a lot of attempts in there. That shows. I mean, definitely.
Yeah, they were giving him a lot of throwing opportunities there late in the fourth quarter, especially. But that second half, in general, he had a lot of throwing opportunities, and he struggled in the pocket as far as which way to go. Purge forward or retreat back or whatever. He had some struggles there with his judgment. He could use better judgment there. But otherwise, he seems like he's got some talent. We got to keep an eye on him. I've been mentioning him all along. There's 3 quarterbacks, and we got to keep an eye on him, because he's definitely got some talent, and he's there for a reason. So, and then remember the tale of the 2 Thompsons?
Right. I do remember that. Yes.
All right. So, at least
one. Here we go. This is like,
that's right.
Yeah.
Darwin Thompson. He was the one that had the lone TD that we had.
Yes, he did.
Which was a rushing TD, and it looked really good. He actually looked pretty good a couple of other times, I believe. And then we did a 2-point conversion after that, which also was completed. Jacob Eason to, I think it was that fella Johnson that had dropped that that kickoff. They let him get back in there. In fact, they let him return the next one. I thought maybe they'd bench him, but they're like, nope, you're going to get back out there and you're going to get it right this time. And they did. And then he ended up by getting, if I'm correct, he was the one that received the 2-point conversion. You might see it there. I think it's Cade Johnson maybe, or something.
Cade Johnson. Yeah. It says, he went 1 carry, 2 yards. It doesn't give him credit for a touchdown or anything. It actually doesn't give him.
No,
credit.
2-point conversion. Okay, yeah.
At least in the rushing, it's not necessarily showing up.
Okay, I don't know.
I don't
if
know
the
how would that? How does that? I've never actually thought about that. How does that show up on like a
for a receiver? I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe it doesn't.
It's not. That's
anyway,
interesting.
Yeah, it doesn't show because it's not a TD, it's not yards. But and then the next
still 2
series,
points. It's 2 points.
And then the next series, we practiced an onside kick and we recovered it. I thought that was something that was pretty cool to point out. So,
hey, that's a strong like little, series of movement from them guys, man. I mean, if they're able to, I mean, special teams, dude, that's where it's at, right?
Yeah, I mean, you got talk about going through the motions and practicing and ironing out bugs. Why not do a onside kick in a preseason game? You're behind. You would do one when you're behind it, not necessarily if in a real scenario in a real game would you do that at that point, and depending on what the circumstances were. But they can practice it all day long. That's the scene to do it. It's the time to do it.
Oh no, dude, preseason is where it's at, man. We got, like you said, one more game to go, dude. So this coming Friday, like we said, Dallas Cowboys, dude. So I don't know, what did you have any thoughts on like the Chicago Bears and like what they looked like? I mean, what do you think their team's going to look like this season?
I don't know. I heard that they were young as well and rebuilding or something. They looked like they were kind of high energy. They looked like they were executing, like they were obviously trying to practice certain plays and stuff like everybody else is going to do. And it seemed like to be working for them better. I don't know if that's because we had less talent on our defense than they had on their offense, that sometimes there's an imbalance, right? Because it might be their ones going against our twos or their ones going against our threes.
Exactly.
That's always going to play a role. And then again, going back to that first little initial introduction we had on this episode, it's a preseason. So if everybody just keeps that in mind, when you get to that first game, even Denver, I'll let you start making your judgments, and we will make the same judgments, because when you get to the regular season, it's on and there's no excuses. If there are mistakes, those are real mistakes. If you didn't execute something or you blew something or fucked something up, that's legit, right? And we're going to call you and hold you to it. But right now in the preseason, we're going to forgive some of those. They call them mulligans in golf. We're going to give you a few mulligans.
Hopefully we're not giving them out all year, but let's
no.
Hopefully we're getting the bugs all worked out right now. That's for sure.
We don't have any room for that, but man, I don't know if there's much more about the game. I mean, to talk about, except for we were mistake worthy, flag worthy, wouldn't convert third downs, but there was a lot of just trying to get some people to expose to some play and let the coaches and stuff watch some film.
Well, I think it's definitely important for us to look forward again, bringing back up week 3 of preseason, which is upcoming here Friday, August the 26th. I almost said October. I don't know. My mind's in October. I'm thinking Halloween, Rich. I'm thinking about Halloween. But 5 p.m. this coming Friday, we're playing at Dallas. So, I mean, I haven't, outside the Seahawks, dude, I haven't really been paying too much attention to all the other teams. So I'm not too sure who's stacking up. I mean, Dallas had a good team last year, right? I mean, they got bounced out pretty early in the playoffs, but it seems like you got Kellen Moore down there being the defensive coach, and then Dan Quinn, isn't he the defensive coach down there?
I believe so. Yeah, you got Kellen Moore from Prosser that calls the plays. And usually when Mike McCarthy comes in and takes over a team as far as head coach, when he did was it last year or the year before?
He's been there a couple years now, I think.
Yeah. So he's known to come in and clean house.
But you have to install your own people.
But he kept Kellen Moore as his OC.
Oh yeah, he was part of the. Who was the previous Ryan? Was that Brad Garrett guy? What was that guy's name? Jason Garrett?
Garrett. Yeah. But anyway, it's kind of the same thing every year. It's like Dallas seems to get the potential, and they get there a lot of times, and then they flop. So I don't know who to compare that to. I mean,
they flop a lot.
They get there a lot, and they talk a lot of shit too getting there. They're always their owner, Jerry Jones. That guy's ridiculous. All he does all the time is, we're going to do it this year. Yeah, we're definitely going to do it this year. You watch. Yeah. We're going to go undefeated this year. I guarantee it.
It's almost been 3
I guarantee.
I remember as a kid, dude, when the last time they won the Super Bowl was against against the Steelers in 95 or whatever. And dude, we're creeping up on 30 years since the Cowboy Nation has been able to hold up a Lombardi trophy, dude. So it's kind of getting up there in terms of damn, dude, you guys need to get something done quick.
Well, let's go in there and get a win though, and just why not? It's only preseason, but why not go in there and get a little revenge, and I don't know what they're
hope
gonna.
so.
I really
I'm
think they'll
not a
still
fan
rest
of
the other guys probably.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Dallas Cowboys, dude, but
Not myself either.
yeah,
No,
I
never
mean,
really have been. Not even neutral with them. Just kind of don't really like them.
it's never been neutral, dude. I mean, maybe Green Bay. Like, I'd maybe say like Green Bay is you know, I've always enjoyed Green Bay. You know, as a kid, you know, you always had Brett Favre, and then it transitioned to Aaron Rodgers pretty seamlessly in terms of the winning. They've always been a winning team for the
Right.
most part, at least.
Well, I mean, I always had the bumper sticker that said I only root for two teams, the Seahawks and whoever's playing the Patriots.
Right.
But now it's probably going to change to the Seahawks and whoever's playing Denver or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Denver. I mean, I don't know, dude. I mean, going into one thing I just saw with the reading of the schedule. I mean, the opening game isn't for like 2 weeks after that, so it's kind of fun to see that they're putting 2 weeks in between the end of preseason and the regular season starting. And man, I mean, I don't know, dude. I mean, I'm really hoping we can put something together this season, dude. But yeah, dude, I really don't want to see Denver come in on that Monday night and just like smash us. You know, I don't want to see that, dude.
Well, we got all year, all season to see who comes out better on that deal. We got all season to let that develop. But if not, you know, again, if this is a transition season and we get into next year's draft and we got a bigger pool of, I was going to say major, I don't know what bigger, more bigger pool of people. That's not even the way to say it. There's plenty of quarterbacks.
Better.
It's I know I'm being funny now. It's a healthy quarterback group in the 2023 draft. So if that's the case, I mean, obviously, I think we already have 2 first-round picks. One of them came from Denver. So yeah, if we get that quarterback, I mean, look at some of these rookies. There was something I did pick up on was the 2 of the rookies from this year. The first rounder, which was Kenny Pickett. There was only 1 first rounder this year, and I guess that doesn't happen very often. There's usually more than 1 quarterback that goes in the first round. But yeah, I got a little tidbit there if you wanted to run with that.
Yeah, dude. Well, I did pull up an article here. I was trying to find some information on some on some rookie quarterbacks, you know, ranking the rookie preseason debuts here. So it's a top 6 one here. So yeah, we have, like you said, Kenny Pickett's on there, but he's definitely on the very at the very beginning, at the top of the list. But let's start up here. Number 6, Matt Corral of the Carolina Panthers. He was a third round pick overall, 94. Goes on saying basically, yeah, his debut is what it looks like when a rookie.
He got hurt.
Doesn't have the speed yet. Did he get hurt?
Yeah, he got hurt. He's out, I think, for the season. Matt Corral.
I don't even know, dude. I never even heard of this guy.
But yeah, the little article that I read on that was Kenny Pickett and he's been having a strong preseason, I guess, and he's got quite the hype train going with Pittsburgh over there, and the Steelers. Obviously, they're looking for their.
Yeah, he isn't. Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Steelers quarterback. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so he was one that played against us. He only played a little bit, I think, but he played what? He was the 3rd one to play, I think, or the 2nd one. But you know, he's a first round rookie, and he's turning heads. And then
he's number 20 overall. Yeah,
I guess his first work with the first team offense. He's looking like a guy that's capable of being that week 1 starter. Yeah. And then the other guy I was looking to speak of, he was later round guy. It was one guy that a lot of people thought might go to Seahawks this year. Was Malik Willis, and he plays for the Titans, and he was picked in the round 3, pick number 36. That sounds like round 2. I must have got that wrong.
Yeah, it looks like he's round 3, pick 86 on here.
86. That was my typo there. But Malik is showing his escapability in the pocket and flashing his upside as well. You know, he's a rookie out of Liberty, and he got the start.
Yeah, we did talk about him, I remember.
In Tennessee preseason against Tampa Bay. And it sounds like he's weaving around the pocket and, you know, all that stuff that he put on display in college, he's putting on display so far in the NFL. So, again, speaking of rookie quarterbacks, there's going to be more of them next year for the Seahawks to choose from. And we know that we're going to end up by drafting a quarterback next year, no matter what, because Geno or Drew or Jacob Eason, for that matter, they're not our long-term quarterback. I think it's clear. It's clear to me, at least at this point, that that's not the case. And I think that's the consensus as well. But we want them guys to do their best. You never know. We don't even know if Drew Lock can be that guy. Really, I can't rule that out quite yet, but it doesn't look well for him so far in his start.
Well, we picked a hell of a year to start recording a Seahawks podcast, Rich Harris. I mean, geez, coming in here to show, like, I mean, this is like, I feel like this is like the long suffering of Seattle fans in general, whether it comes to like, you know, Seattle Seahawks, Seattle Mariners, the Seattle Kraken, obviously. I mean, our first year out, dude, you know, like we were like one of the worst teams in the freaking NHL, dude. And it's like, you know, you got to love it just because we finally have hockey. But I mean, you know, it's just, yeah, we have a long standing suffering when it comes to, droughts. So, man, I'm in it for the long haul. That's all I got to say, dude. I'm going to ride and die with my Seattle Seahawks. That's what's up, Rich Harris.
If you, at the end of the day, look at those ticket sales for all of the above, and you'll see that we sell tickets and we have a fan base that still comes and participates and roots for their team. I call it through thick and thin, and I'm one of those fans, and I'll continue to root for my team when they suffer those lows and when they're experiencing those highs. That's just part of how it goes, man. But yeah, man, that's all I got, Kevin, sir. I don't have much more for today, and other than I can't wait to see this next preseason game and what happens there.
Friday.
Probably nothing exciting, but you know, the Denver Monday Night Football game is just going to be something I can't even wait for.
I know that's going to be that's the one we're waiting for, dude. September 12th,
right.
dude.
That's right.
No, I do promise the listeners I will watch the game this week, thick or thin. You know, I will make the time this coming Friday to sit down and watch the game. Hopefully starting our weekend off really well and with the Seahawks win in preseason so we don't go 0-3. But before we get out of here, I did want to just kind of bring up one little thing here. I know we always kind of talk a little bit about around the league, and I wanted to ask you, man, there's a new game in town. It's called Where the Hell is Tom Brady? I mean, where is this guy, dude? He like takes a leave of absence from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, hasn't shown up for any of the preseason games. I mean, is he even going to play this season? I don't know, Rich. I mean, what do you think?
I don't give a shit.
All right, that's how we end it. Fuck Tom Brady.
All right.
We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Can you win a game in the first quarter? No! Can you win a game